Now, the national curriculum is set to be made even more diverse under brand new plans to refresh what's currently taught in schools. Well, there's going to be a pledge to breathe new life into our outdated system.
Right, OK. Bridget Phillipson, the Education Secretary, her overhaul aims to create a curriculum that reflects the diversities of our society and help produce young people who appreciate the diversity of Britain.
Well, the move has been slammed by the former Conservative Education Minister, Sir John Hayes, who says the changes would undermine the education of young people for ideological reasons.
OK, well, joining us now is academic and author Joanna Williams. Joanna, thank you very much for coming on to talk about this one. What exactly is going on here? OK, so we see nice things about how young people will learn to appreciate diversity and how diversity of the curriculum will be a wonderful thing. What exactly will that mean, do you suppose?
Well, I think the first thing I would say is that it's entirely to do with politics and nothing to do with education. I would see it as an act of cultural vandalism, which is entirely to the detriment of children and to academic standards. I mean, this is Bridget Phillipson's way of bringing politics into the classroom, of politicising every aspect of the school day and really bringing that ideological indoctrination, I think that's the word for it, indoctrination, into the very heart of the school day, to the very heart of what education's all about, and totally destroying subjects like English literature and national history. I mean, the clue's in the name. English literature should be about the literature that's been written in English and produced in England. And you know, I think the more we trash those things, the more we trash what it means to be British and what education is actually for.
I found the really fascinating language around this to be that the curriculum is too monocultural as things currently stand, as if we shouldn't have sort of one British culture, but we should have many different cultures, which seems strange. It's not how the French would approach things. I dare say it's not how the Americans would approach things. And yet here, sort of almost uniquely, we're sort of suggesting that we shouldn't have a sense of Britishness. We should dilute and pocket and divide, which doesn't seem to actually be, on the face of it, all that progressive.
No, absolutely not. And I think that's one of the really important roles that schools can play in introducing children to their national history, to their national culture, cultural traditions. And for me, that is a very progressive thing because it's it's one of the few things that can genuinely unite people. It doesn't matter, as far as I'm concerned, what colour your skin is, what your sex or your gender identity is, what your sexuality is. All of those things are completely irrelevant and should be left at the classroom door. We can all be united in enjoying British literature, in appreciating British history. It's actually, I think, incredibly racist and sexist to think that if you have black skin, you can't enjoy Shakespeare. If you're a woman, you can't enjoy Charles Dickens. These are really regressive ideas that are being pumped out by this Labour government. It's real cultural vandalism, I think, and educational standards and children will ultimately be the victims of this attempt to politicise the curriculum.
Now, I believe this is a review/consultation at the moment, and of course all the teaching unions and various groups are all going to be putting forward their ideas, some of which will focus on this decolonisation of the curriculum and things like that. But I think people are worried in this country that there is no longer an attachment to a British sense of national identity. And how damaging that could be to this country in the years to come. And that's why these types of stories, because I've heard on other stations people saying, oh, this is just a scare story from The Telegraph. I think it was written up to begin with. But actually, people have a deep concern about the fragmentation of our country.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think the problem is it doesn't come from the bottom up. This is not reflective of the views of ordinary people, regular citizens.